For my practicum experience, I worked in Mrs. Olson's third grade class, and the only technology that was really available to us was microphone system and a document camera. And her school also had a couple of computer labs. So that's what I chose to do for this assignment to make the lesson more engaging for my students. For my technology integration lesson, Mrs. Olson asked me to teach about bar graphs. And so after looking at the standards and the objectives, I decided that my teaching objective would be for the students to be able to read a bar graph and also be able to create a bar graph from data that they have collected. So for this assignment, I did some research online and I came across a website that allows kids to make their own bar graphs from data. And so that was kind of the central focus of my lesson for this unit. We started out with Miss Olson reading a book called Lemonade for Sale. And this is a book about kids who work together during the summer to sell lemonade. And they graph their results and their sales on a bar graph. So that's kind of a way for the kids to get interested in bar graphs, and just to kind of point out that we use bar graphs as a visual representation for information. So after that, I showed them a graph that I had made that displays their lunch choices for the day. And I asked them what they noticed about that graph. And I got a lot of different answers, mostly things like, oh, there were 13 people that chose pizza, and there are a lot less people that chose deli sandwich, or there's numbers on the sides, just simple comments like this. And that was great for my lesson because I just wanted them to notice the basic parts of a bar graph. After we kind of talked about the parts of a bar graph and how to read one, the students were allowed to create a question that they were interested in knowing more about their students, and they got with a partner, came up with a question, and went around the room and made a tally chart of people's responses. So I got a lot of different questions. Most of them had to do with what is your favorite color, what is your favorite sport, and in this case these girls did what is your favorite breakfast food, and the options were waffles, eggs, sausage, and pancakes. So after everybody made their tally charts, I took them to the computer lab and they all logged in, and then I showed them the website that they were supposed to go to, and I just had to verbally explain everything that they were supposed to do, which was a little bit tricky. But eventually students were able to find the website, which is nces.ed.gov, and it's just the kids version of this website, and they were able to put in their data and play around with it and be creative a little bit. I showed them how to enter the basic information, and then they determined what color they wanted the bars to be, what font, and what size, and all of that stuff. So they really enjoyed that. And when they were finished, as you can see here, they printed off their graphs. And this last picture is just a graph that I remade of one of the students. And it's the results from what is your favorite breakfast food. And as you can see, it goes exactly with the tally that these students did. So overall, I think this was a really successful lesson. The kids were definitely more engaged than they would have been if I hadn't used technology, because they were so excited to make bar graphs. I told them at the very beginning of the lesson that that was what we were going to do, and from that moment on they were super excited about it because they would get to create something on the computer on their own. And they really enjoyed going around and asking questions and displaying those answers. So I definitely think that the technology helped with engagement. One thing that was really hard was management. The kids were all at different paces, and some would skip ahead when I was trying to give directions, and others were way behind. And so it was really hard to keep up with everybody. It would have been really nice if I had a projector and that hooked up to a computer so I could just show them what to do, but we didn't have that, or if we did, my teacher didn't know how to do that. So I just had to verbally explain everything, which made things difficult. But in the end, I think the students really enjoyed it and they understand bar graphs.